What's going on, everyone? Alex da Silva. I hope you are well. I hope you're having an amazing day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Today, I want to confess, share a story as to why I hated Andrew Tate. But today I don't. And I'm going to share why, and I'm going to be very honest about it as well. And hopefully this will be a video that can help you to see things from various different perspectives. So stay tuned, watch until the end, and remember to like and subscribe. So many of you, 90% of you that watch the videos, don't subscribe. Subscribe because you keep coming back. So if you want to see more, then make sure you subscribe, hit that notification button, and stay tuned because there are more and more videos coming out every single day. So let's get to it. So why did I hate Andrew Tate? I don't hate him today. Let's make that very, very clear from the beginning. But I think it's important to sort of understand the reasons why I did. So Andrew Tate was introduced to me by a friend, and he knew him. They grew up in sort of in the same area. He is a sports therapist. He's my sports therapist. And he just mentioned to me he was working, I guess, in one of his gyms, may have come across him and met him a number of times some time ago. And of course, Andrew then just blew up. This guy is everywhere. The most searched man on Google. He's all over social media, and then he gets banned, and he just then continues to explode for various different reasons. Now, the narrative pushed the reasons that he is a misogynist, he hates women, he's been involved in sex trafficking, he pushes, I'm so bored of that word, I actually can't even remember, just bad masculinity, let's just call that toxic masculinity, and so on and so forth. The narrative pushes so many things that goes against him and what he's actually trying to say, and the message he's actually truthfully trying to put across. So I bought into the first, and this friend of mine came to me and said, so, you're into martial arts, and have you heard of this guy, Andrew Tate? And I remember the name. And we started talking about it, and I was like, isn't that guy that hates women? He's a bit of a dickhead, and, he doesn't seem like a really nice person. And I got defensive about it because I grew up with a lot of women. I was raised by a single mother. I grew up in a very poor, I grew up in Brazil under, very humble beginnings. I came to the UK. And like him, I practiced martial arts for many years. And I then started my own businesses and different ventures and projects. And it's very interesting that I now specialize in mental health and addiction. And I try to help, men and women to kind of reconnect with themselves. So when he started talking to me about it, that was my first reaction, was to judge him. And I realized that I did that. And after I left our session, I actually went home, and I remember having a word with myself, because this is something that I've learned through my practice and growing up as a man, not as a hurt little boy. I felt that something that he had supposedly said about women triggered me, because I'm very defensive about women. I have a beautiful wife, beautiful mother. I grew up around women. My grandmother is a huge influence in my life. I've got 2 daughters. So for me to hear what was being said supposedly by him about women got my back up. But I remembered, and always stick to my principles, is don't ever judge a book by its cover. Go and read it. Go and read the book, then make your decision. And that's exactly what I did. I went and read a book about Mr. Andrew Tate. I watched all the videos. I watched the full interviews. And I gave the benefit of the doubt to just understand the guy. I've never met him face to face. I've never had a sit down with him. Never got to have a man-to-man conversation. But what changed my mind was how he conducted himself, And I think he said it himself. I watched some of his more recent interviews, and he said, "Look, some things I did say to raise a bit of, to kind of get people's back up, and to get likes, I guess." But he then started to hold himself differently, hold himself as a man, hold himself accountable, be respectful, and started to really kind of explain what he means by some of the things that he had said. And he explains it very, very well. And let me make something very clear. He is not a stupid man. He's a very, very smart man. And I understand that because how he conducts himself and how he says certain things and the things that he believes and what he's trying to do. More importantly, to teach young men how to be men, to teach young men how to be men, how to be free, how to be successful, how to conduct themselves, in an appropriate way, and not to go in and sort of be a thug and, go in, beat people up, but actually how to be a businessman, how to take care of your wife, or your partner, how to look after your family. And these are the things that I've learned, and these are the things that I do. I look after my daughters, my sons. I have 2 daughters, 2 sons, and I look after my wife. And I grew up around, an incredible family, mainly around women. And I agree with a lot of the things that he says. I disagree with some of the things that he says too. So I don't take, his word on everything, because I am a man and I do have my own values and I do have my own purpose, and I do stand for my own truth. So there are a lot of things that I do agree with him, and I have heard him say many of times how he respects women. I have heard him say many of times how we should protect women, how we should protect our children. And these things are very, very in line with my values, that we should protect our women, we should protect our children, we should protect our family, those that we love. We should hold them very, very dearly. But what I really found interesting is when he talks about the common cold, or he talks about the matrix, and he talks about the system that is here to enslave us. I talked about these in previous videos, and I've even made a video around when Andrew Tate talks about women being his property. I understand what he means by that, and I went into that video in a lot more detail. So look, I really changed my perception around him and actually learned to really respect the guy, to respect what he's doing. And recently, you would have seen that he's also been arrested, and I'm going to do a different video around that to talk about, the sort of the reasons why and why these things are happening. He's talked about it. You start to talk against the system, you start to talk about the matrix, you start to talk about, removing yourself from this system and then taking people with you. It starts to get people's back up. It starts to go against the narrative. It starts to go against the system. And the system doesn't like that. It wants people to be enslaved. It wants people to, to just stay numb and dumb. It wants people to just be yes, sir, no, sir. And when you have men, real men, and this is where they start talking about toxic masculinity, they're using these very, very clever words. And let me tell you something. I specialize in mental health and addiction. So I understand the psychological element of the words that are used. When someone speaks to you in plain English and factual and starts to tell the truth, people hear it straight away. But what isn't heard all the time is when people are manipulating words and they're using things very cleverly, they're making it sound like somebody is doing something wrong. And we start to then, we talk about conspiracy theories, we talk about the COVIDiots, and there are so many different words that have been used very cleverly to paint a negative picture on others, especially people that are going or talking against this narrative. And look at what's happening with him, and he's trying to help people to break free. He's trying to help people to learn how to make money, how to get their own businesses, how to be successful. And this is exactly what we should be doing. We should be doing this. We should be doing more of this, and we should be rising to the occasion. Because here is the thing, and take this, if you're watching until now, listen to this very carefully. You are going to wake up to the truth by choice or by force. You're going to wake up to the truth by choice or by force. It's very simple. And There are people like him, like myself, and there are so many others out there that speak that truth, that talk about what's going on at the moment, that's talking about people having to remove themselves from this. And the more and more you start to see the truth, don't be afraid. Connect with other men, other women who want to make a difference, who want to change things. And look, let's leave it there. But I wanted to share this information. I wanted to share the video. I wanted to talk about this topic and to kind of make it very clear. And I will continue to make other videos around him and other very similar topics as well. So if you like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned. Have an amazing day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And as always, be great, be fantastic, and be absolutely phenomenal today. It is everything, everything, everything that you are. I say it every single time because it's true. I'll speak to you soon. Take care.